Hey guys, Nathan the Lone Ranger here with my podcast, Inside the Range, where I go over the insights of the industry and people's experiences. I'm here with my friend and real estate agent, Dalton Ogg. He's been in this industry for about 4 months, already killing it. I'll let him introduce himself.
How are we doing? My name is Dalton Ogg. I'm a real estate agent with eXp Realty on the Chris Fritch team, and just excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's get started with the biggest question. How'd you get in this industry, Dalton?
Well, a little bit different. So originally, I wanted to be a bodybuilder, and from you can see, I'm not a bodybuilder. Gave that dream up. So basically, my dad was buddies with a guy named Chris Fritch, who is my team leader now and mentor. And so he came over one day, and I was eating just straight up chicken and rice. Basic, like straight up just white, and yeah, super boring. And he's like, why are you doing that? I was like, well, because I want to be a bodybuilder, and he was like, well, if you can eat chicken like that, just plain, he's like, you can be a real estate agent. It's like, I don't know how that correlates, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Sure. I was like, I guess, yeah. And at the time I was doing lawn care. I had my own lawn care company, and I was kind of like, screw you, dude. Like I'm doing my own thing, And so I didn't, and he kind of just kept persisting, talking about real estate, and push came to shove, and I lost a couple bids and lost some bigger contracts. And it kind of just
in your lawn care business.
Yep, correct. Yeah, and so it kind of just started to hit a downfall a little bit a year later, and it just wasn't something that I really seen not that the industry's bad, but I just didn't see myself fitting in there exactly.
When did you get into the industry? What year?
When I got in at 2019.
Okay.
I believe 2019, 2020, or 2020, somewhere around in there.
Okay.
It was 2020.
That's when the idea of real estate was introduced to you?
No. This was lawn care.
So you got into lawn care at 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and so I was doing that for 3 years.
During COVID? Did you start during COVID?
Yeah.
Right when COVID started is when you're like, I'll go mow some lawns and get out of the house? Or...
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, halfway through, yeah. I got sick of, because before that I was doing landscaping. And so, similar industry, but I kind of just got sick of it, and I wanted to do my own thing.
Did the business of landscaping kind of go down with the COVID shutdown and all those restrictions?
No. It was fine.
Okay.
It was still rolling good. And I was just on the phone with the owner of that landscaping company. I'm still really good friends with them. We go golfing all the time. But yeah, I just wanted to go do my own thing, and he was supportive of that as well. And so yeah, I went off, kind of did my own thing, and it was going fine. And then it just... yeah, it took some turns, and I made some wrong decisions in the business. I think what I should have done differently is I was 90% commercial, and with those commercial contracts are a lot bigger, and you lose a couple of them, and it's a big loss. And there's so many big companies who are just, they can run more, they can take a less of a profit on each job because I have so many versus,
they kind of price you out.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I kind of got priced out, and yeah, it just, I don't know. It worked out in the long run. I enjoy what I do right now a lot better. I can, I don't have to be getting up at 3 a.m. every day and getting out there cutting grass, and it's less manual labor. So yeah, I enjoy it a lot more. So.
Okay, that's awesome. So, starting out with lawn care business, you kind of had to get your own clients, right? No one was given to you.
Yeah, no. So it actually helped me, and it's, everything kind of flows for a reason,
Yeah.
And so that helped, because in reality, gaining clients, any business, real estate's a business, being a loan officer's business, and anything is, so it's just, and nobody knows who you are to begin with. So it's just getting your name out there, And so, yeah, so I started just door knocking and putting flyers out and stuff like that. And it's, kind of a similar aspect to real estate.
Exactly. How old were you? 18 or freshly out of high school or still teenager?
When I did lawn care?
When you started, door knocking, getting your feet wet with the lawn care business.
No, I was 16 then.
16, okay.
Yeah.
Starting to hustle at 16, door knocking, putting up flyers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, I did that, and then and then we started at 16, and then just putting Facebook posts out, and I didn't really understand social media at the time, versus now it's a little bit different, and I think it's more beneficial in real estate in this industry, social media. But still posting, doing some ads, and just it's really just good information and understanding how to run a business, how to gain clients, profit margins, and all that, and understanding just how everything works. So it was a great experience, and I think it's helped me be more efficient in this industry, and also just obtain clients and understand running your business, and it just helps me be more relaxed because I'm more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, you got great, that's really knowledgeable experience, and I think the hardest part of real estate, and correct me if you're wrong, you've been in it for a little bit, but when I started the loan officer business, my mentor told me the hardest part is getting the clients itself. I'm sure it's the same thing with real estate, correct?
100%. Yeah. And especially right now, it's I mean, really tough. I think it's, don't quote me on this, but 50% of agents are dropping out last year. And
really? I didn't know it was that high.
Yeah,
50%.
Yeah. I mean, granted, there's new ones coming in, so it's not a complete 50% drop. But there's a lot of people getting out of the industry.
I mean, it's just tough to make a living, and you got to really put your full weight behind it, especially in this market.
100%.
It's tough for part-time agents to succeed.
Certainly, yeah.
So that's awesome, man. So you got a bit of sales experience and be able to kind of generate your own clients for the lawn care business, and you see a direct kind of correlation to the real estate.
100%. Right? Yeah.
Okay. What else kind of carries over? Do you have clients that were from your lawn care business that you can kind of go back on and fall back on, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's always in real estate, every interaction you can have, is better. So knowing more people, and obviously, I've obtained contacts and stuff, haven't closed a deal from anybody from that, but it's all good future down the road, something will come out of it.
Okay.
And it's all a numbers game in real estate. Is how many people how many people do you interact with every day, and that's pretty much it. Just letting people know that you're doing it, because majority of people don't,
Yeah. That's awesome. So what was your main thing you took away from lawn care business that you applied directly to real estate? Was it the door knocking? I love that grind, man. A lot of people are afraid to door knock and put their face out there, getting afraid of rejection. Were you ever afraid of that when you started out, of door knocking, oh man, this guy's going to get mad at me for knocking on his door, or anything like that? Or?
Well, no, I don't think so. It's
awesome.
You always have the back thoughts and thinking about, the worst situation. But at the end of the day, if it's kind of you don't think of, what could happen, because it's what happens if I don't do this more, If I don't knock on the door,
it's a good mindset.
You don't get a client,
Right.
If you don't, but if you knock on the door, you got a 50%, I mean, not really, but 50% chance of getting the clients, or just having a good interaction, 50% chance of somebody yelling at you. But what's the worst that happens? Somebody yells at you, or you don't get clients.
You have any good stories of anybody yelling at you or anything like that on the?
No, not really at all. No, I haven't came across that. You get yelled at on the phone a lot.
Right, calling them for lawn care or for real estate or for both?
Real estate. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that's, it is what it is. You
Right.
know, you just shake it off and roll to the next one. And I think part of getting yelled at too is I got yelled at more when I first started, and it's just adapting to that, because part of it is you're getting yelled at because of how you come across a smidge. Mm-hmm. And it's not being so directive, and just having a conversation, being comfortable, and really, if somebody calls, you have to put yourself in the consumer's shoes 100% of the time. If somebody calls you and is nervous, shaky, maybe stumbling their words a smidge, you're just going to be a little bit irritated and be like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. And I'm not, I don't have the time of day for this. And it's just being confident and rolling with it, having good literature and understanding how to move the conversations and how to and how to transfer them into your database, get their information, and really just create a connection with them. And that all just comes with time too, is being, the first day I started, I just started calling people. I didn't know really much at all about anything, but it's just, it's all reps. And that's all real estate is just getting your reps in, making your calls every day. And, some days you feel great and you make, 80, 90 calls. And some days you don't feel like doing it at all, and you just kind of slug your way through, but still get 20 calls in. And it's just yeah, it all ebbs and flows, but the main thing is staying consistent and at least doing something. And, I wake up every day and just try to think, I want to at least let 40 new people know that I'm doing real estate,
admirable goal, dude.
and it's just, and versus, like people are like, oh, where do you get your leads from? It's everybody's a lead. You walk down the street, there's a lead,
Exactly.
and not saying that, I mean, I don't really walk down the street just shaking people's hands, but I mean, you could, if you really wanted to.
And the cashier at a Walmart or anything, right?
Yeah,
anytime
certainly.
You can encounter somebody.
And so it's kind of like, you just, and it's learning how to edge conversations into bringing up that you're, and not just walk straight up to somebody like, hey, I want to sell your home, like, but it's just being comfortable and learning how to, and it's mostly just communication, rolling in, talking to people, and understanding how to talk to people and not edge them the wrong way, but still being stern enough to where you make sales and just and everybody's a little bit different as well, so it's all and it's all a learning curve.
You gotta learn how to read somebody.
100%. And I mean, I'm still bad at it, you still I don't think everybody
developing, right?
I don't think everybody's great at it, but I mean, it's just getting better every day.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you mentioned something, cold calling. It really struck a chord with me because when I started the industry, my mentor, he said the same thing. He put like a list of 1,000 of his past clients or people he called in the past, and he told me to dial them up and get the reps in. So I think that was very important in cutting my teeth in the industry. I didn't know too much about mortgages at the time, but it's kind of weird in this industry. I'm not sure if it's for real estate, but in school, I always wanted to learn something, right? I was very book smart, so I just kind of want to learn and then regurgitate on the test, right? But and right when I got in the industry, I was like, I want to know every single loan program, everything top to bottom. But it's more of, hey, go find a customer first, bring him back to me. I already have the knowledge. I can help you with that when the time comes. Versus knowing everything, then selling. Right? Is that
certainly? Yeah. And I'm 100% kind of the similar way. Is I was decently book smart. I didn't really try as hard in school, but I was like, I didn't have to try, and I got like B's. So I was like, this is good enough, And so it's similar. Everybody. There's always going to be an excuse and stuff. Is I don't know this. What if this objection comes up? But you don't know the objections until you do it. So. It's all about getting the reps in. And I was the same way. I mean, you're just watching videos. You're like, I don't know if I can really do this, but it's like the only way is to do it. There's no other way. And you just learn as the process goes. And it's really the only way to learn. I mean, there is ways to just look up every single book, and you're going to learn stuff from it. But the best way to do it in my eyes is just going out.
You need to find a client who actually, then you have a problem, then you can figure out how to do it. And
certainly.
I think having a strong mentor or a strong team behind you is extremely important. That's what my mentor, Matt Bjorgum, and the rest of Edge was able to provide for me. So, I mean, with Chris Fritsch, right? How is that relationship between you guys? And do you kind of turn to him if you have, something with a deal that you're not sure of, or how to structure or write up a contract, things like that?
Yeah, well, it was actually John Schmidt, great guy. So he's technically my mentor, where I call him every day and talk to him, and he's really helped me through the whole process. And Chris is kind of the backup, the main big boss. If there's a big problem or something, talk to him. And I still talk to him all the time, and he's always there for meetings and always there if I need him. But my direct mentor is John Schmidt, and he's an awesome guy. He crushes it every day. And then really the whole team and the whole environment is really helpful. I can call up anybody on that team, and they'd be willing to help.
That's awesome.
And it's and that also helps with mindset as well. You're having a bad day, you get stuck, you're struggling one week, not obtaining any clients, and it's just. They're always there for you, but it's also at the same time they push you. You see, we have all of the homes that everybody sells on the wall, and you have your name and your sheet and stuff. Yeah. And you go in there and you see the guys who are killing it and crushing every day. And it's especially in a market like this where you talk to most people and they're like, oh, these interest rates,
right,
and nobody's moving, it's struggling. It's like there's still people moving, there's still homes for sale. It's just get out there and find them,
Yeah.
instead of the situation is what it is. There's nothing you can change there. You just have to change your approach. And I think luckily also I got in at what some would call a bad time. So it's a little bit oblivious because I don't necessarily know a good market. So
I'm the same way. So I got in about a year before you did, and everyone's like, oh, it's not a good time, blah, blah, blah. And like you said, I know Warren Buffett. I actually interviewed with a different mortgage firm right beforehand, and he was a nice guy too. I just ultimately came with Edge, but I remember on the elevator ride down after an interview, he offered me a job, and he's like, Nathan, a lot of people are going to be scared to kind of come in at this time. And he actually said, Warren Buffett says, when people are leaving, come in. And when people are coming in, like everyone's coming in, it's a good time to get out, right? So, I think it's kind of cool, and it happens to be in our situation that we're getting into a time where, like you said, 50% of people are leaving. And it really, I'm actually kind of grateful. I'm not sure if you are, but I'd rather come in at a tough time than an easy time, because it really shows you how to cut your teeth in this industry and learn the good habits, learn how to kind of, make it, you kind of have to generate everything on your own versus like, things are falling from the sky. And when things dry up like it is now, we'll be like, oh, I don't know what to do. And you get all discouraged. And then you're one of the statistics of the 50% that ultimately just exits, right? So
100%. Yeah. I think it's no matter what, no matter how busy your day is, it's just trying to at least time block out an hour of lead gen every day, and ultimately that is what drives people in and out. Is just, you get in at a good, and not saying that, you can get in at a good time and still do great,
of course.
But and I think I'd rather come in right now and get everything set up. So then when you are, you're catching everything that you can.
Exactly. Riding the wave up once you get your
100%,
everything
100%.
up on board. So awesome. All right. So what's brought you like success in the industry? Honestly, man, like the fact is, before we even shot the podcast, you told me that you had 4 deals underneath your belt in 4 months. Like that's crazy. I've talked to people who've been in this industry for 2 years, and they probably have the same amount of production. So, you're doing something right. Like, and I think, a testament of that is your previous sales experience. You're not afraid to go and door knock. You're not afraid to call. And I think that's a huge factor in your success. But would you agree with that? Do you have anything else to add to that? Or
it's just casting your nets in as many places as possible, trying to do, and really social media has been what I've been trying to really elevate. And it's getting that out there, because you post a reel and 1,000 people see it. Versus it takes a while to call 1,000 people, text 1,000 people, whatever,
blast it all out there, right?
So that's really a wide range, and then it's just getting people in your CRMs, and then having a good follow up. You can talk to somebody for you still got people who I have in a CRM, and then they'll probably purchase in a year or so. So it's just keeping your follow-ups, and just keep reaching out to more people. And that's the main thing. And it doesn't matter how you do it versus door knocking. I haven't door knocked for real estate,
right?
But I know some people who do, and they do great, and it's just whatever suits you, but find a couple different avenues, So like I try calling, and then open houses, try to do at least 2 every week. And then also just social media. And those are the main 3 that I focus on. And it'll keep you busy enough. There's also people who like to make excuses, and I don't have anybody call, but there's always people you can find. There's always lists that you could find, and they might not be great, but you just got to work through it. Yeah. You're either busy or you're broke, one of the two. So
I like that, man.
So it's, say you waste 5 hours doing it, so what? You take something out of it. You learned something, you understood how to navigate that call and anything, and anything I think you can learn from.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. And I went to a convention for mortgages where, I went to one of my lenders. They host this thing, and there's super successful mortgage brokers that speak at that. But one thing that I took away was they talk about social media. And like what you said, a lot of people, including myself when I started, they're afraid of, they're very perfectionist and want the best video, want to get the best script down, and you just gotta do it, right? And this quote stuck with me. They said visibility beats ability 9 out of 10 times, right? Because if you could be the best real estate agent ever, but if no one knows what you're doing, like what good is that, right? But if you're an average agent, but everyone knows what you're doing and you're the first person on their mind, like that's probably gonna be more successful, ironically, than the other way around.
100%. And it's not that you want to be a bad agent,
right? Yeah. That's not the point.
Yeah. But it's also. Yeah, 100%. It's just outreach. That's really all it is, And some people, most people, I think overthink. I mean, even there's days that I overthink it, It's
I overthink all the time.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody does, It's like, oh, this post is kind of stupid. It's like, just post it, And if it's stupid, nobody sees it, nobody likes it. But if it's, people like it, and then it boosts the algorithm, and more people see it, and that's generally all that matters, And just trying to have posts every day and have people just in the back of their mind thinking about you. Because it's not even like it's just having your name pop up, and then all of a sudden they're in a conversation. Oh yeah, real estate, thinking about selling my home. Perfect. Hey, I know a guy. And yeah, you just want to be first in everybody's mind. And yeah, that's the main thing, is just get your name out there, and then sticking people. You can make cold call, but generally you're not going to get a sale off of one cold call, right? Yeah. So it's also getting that lead and then developing them. And that's all with your CRMs and putting them on email, sending them properties, and just really trying to suit your clients the best and understand their needs ultimately.
Yeah, so it's good listening, good follow-up. That's the key to succeeding after the cold calling
certainly
phase of real estate. Yeah, well, I mean, so what else I guess, you shared what brought you successes. What were some worries that you had in the beginning, or what were some things that you were very anxious about, starting off in the industry? You're still relatively new, so I mean, just kind of your journey so far.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny you say that. The first day that I came into the office and sat down, did some onboarding and stuff, I left the office and I called one of my good buddies and I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Really?
I was like, yeah.
What happened? You got shouted at, or what happened?
No, not at all. It was just, I was like, I don't know. I just didn't think, talking to, because generally, I mean, they say you got to talk to about 200 people to make one sale. And it's probably more than that, honestly. 100%. It's more than that.
Especially in today's market.
And I'm not the most outgoing person, And so I was like, I don't know if this industry's for me. And it was, you just kind of doubt yourself. And it's especially, you don't have, you're just, it's new, and there's a bunch of sharks in this industry.
Yeah.
And you're like,
kind of
why wouldn't somebody
exactly,
go with this guy, And there's also stats. You hear people say like every person knows 5 agents. It's like, how am I going to be number 1 on their list? But it just takes time, and and there's some people who don't know any agents. So there's always outliers, and that's what you're trying to pick,
For sure. Let's dig a bit into that, honestly, because it was a unique story how I got into mortgages, and I'll tell that another time. But part of it, what appeals to me more than being a real estate agent, to be honest, is I know there's a lot less saturated of a field. Not many people know as many mortgage brokers at the top of their mind. But like you said, the average person knows 5 agents. So kind of in your shoes, let's go on that a little bit deeper. How do you, how would you, that could be discouraging at times. Like, how do you kind of cope with that thought? And how do you use that to kind of fuel and be at the top of the list of people's minds when they know like 4 or 5 agents?
Well, they know 4 or 5 agents, so there's not unknowing them. It's just, how do you be number 1?
Right.
And the main thing is seeing people every day. Like, generally, if you write down how many people you know, it's probably a quarter of how many people you actually know, but just right off your mind right now, if you had to list off.
Right.
So yeah,
right.
You know a lot more people than you think, and they're not always on your mind. So it's just, and that's the main thing with social media, is once you obtain those people and have relationships with them, and then it's just being on everybody's back of your mind, And some people might get sick of you, but who cares?
Yeah, being at the top of mind. That's a delicate balance, but being at the top of mind is super important, especially, you never know, if they're not trying to buy a house now, they'll forget, but you never know when you're at the top of their mind and they're trying to buy or sell the house, and you're at the right time, boom. Like, that's how we get a deal going.
Yeah, yeah. It's and this is majority just a referral game, realistically, and it's just how many people can refer you, and it's having other people work for you. So having it like there's not too many jobs where you can have other people advertising for you, and that's where it's nice is just reaching out, and keeping a close and not that you're just creating relationships for business.
Exactly.
But it's nice that also helps out, and people like to refer you, like I like to refer people who I know, and it's
trust, right?
Yeah. And so it's ultimately just a numbers game, really.
Right. So just getting in front of people. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And it's, you can't think about the stupid stats that you're, because it's a pretty low bearing entry to get into this.
Right.
And so that's where it's like, you just have to find ways around it and get creative and just work generally,
Yeah. So, I mean, you're seeing results right away, right? And I think that's really encouraging. I know a lot of times in the real estate industry, people kind of do things months and months and months. They may not see results right away, kind of like working out. You said you're a bodybuilder, right? You work out for a month.
I was, and I wouldn't consider myself really a bodybuilder. I was trying to be. The heaviest I got was 200, so it wasn't.
Okay, but I mean, you're in good shape, man. I mean, I work out too. I like going to the gym, and I remember being a super scrawny 12, 13-year-old kid, and I would do push-ups and chin-ups, and I mean, I didn't see results right away. It took me honestly like a few months to get notice definitions of muscles popping and everything like that. You think real estate is kind of the same game where it's a thing of persistence, doing the right habits again and again. You may not be no one really rises to the top unless you're part of a family team or, maybe you're Chris Lindahl's son or something like that. Right. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I think you can correlate almost any hobby really to anything. So the gym it's really, it's just something in the back of your mind that you can think about it and it relates to a lot of things. And that's why, I still work out, but it's not like, I'm not as into it, with the diet thing. And that was, I mean, I did really enjoy it, and I was
still eating chicken and rice a lot, or
not. I mean, I did eat that today. I don't eat it every day, but
it's nice and simple. It gets the job done. Right?
It worked. Yeah. But so it's basically, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. What? So chicken and rice. Yeah. So it's basically, it's just repetitions, and understanding that you're not going to see results the first day or the second day, but it all compounds over time, and once it's rolling, it's a good time and it's fun, the greatest time in the gym was after the first, I didn't really see results for like 6 months.
Exactly.
And then you start rolling, and it's pretty sweet. So but I still enjoy the gym, but it just wasn't feasible for what I was doing. Like I'd set timer every 2 hours and have to eat, and just I couldn't. Geez. Yeah, and so I couldn't do lawn. I couldn't work, and it just affected everything, my whole life, and I couldn't do it. So ultimate respect to the guys who do it.
Absolutely,
and it's a wild and I don't think people truly realize how much of a grind it is. I mean, the amount of times that you're just tossing food down and then throwing up, and then it's just
throwing up.
All the time.
What am I throwing up?
You're
throwing up.
You're just forcing so much food down your throat that it's just at some point you just start throwing up, and you're feeling like garbage all the time. I mean,
wow! I didn't know it was throwing up. Are you eating too much or what?
Yeah. Because
or something.
Well, you're overeating every day. I mean, it's not healthy for you at all doing that. But it's I mean, it is fun. I will say that, and it's just trying to get that goal no matter what, And if you have to throw up, it is what it is. I mean, obviously you try not to, because then what sucks is not even that you threw up, it's that you threw up those calories.
Right.
So now you got to
more calories down. Do you track all your calories and things like that?
Yeah.
I've never done that before, but
I had a coach for a while, and then so I'd get meal plans and so you'd eat 7 to 8 meals a day.
Wow.
And then,
holy crap, dude. That's a ton of food. I love eating, but
no, you don't like it because
no, I would not like that.
Yeah,
no.
it's not good food, and it's not good at all. And partially also because I'm a lazy cooker, so I don't, and I'm not big into food, so I just make
whatever gets the job done.
Yeah, it was just chicken and rice, beef and rice, and then in the morning eggs and toast. And so, yeah, it was pretty simple. But yeah, you eat the same meal, 4 times a day. And then you just put hot sauce on it because you can't do sauces you can't do sauces with like high calories and stuff, and then a lot of sodium because you're retaining more water. And so it's, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
You eating like a lot of bland food then?
Yeah, it was all bland. Yeah.
I would have a hard time stomach that
there's
down,
no
man.
flavor. Yeah, and so that's where, I mean, you're full, you're not hungry at all, and you're just throwing bland food down. So yeah, you throw up quite a bit.
Okay.
And then
wow, I didn't know that. That's I don't know.
The toughest part.
Is that typical of bodybuilders to throw up? Or?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
100%.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
No, it's a legit grind. I mean, it's pretty much a full-time job just trying to eat food. Like it's really hard to hold down a job and do that.
Yeah, no, when I was weightlifting, honestly, sometimes I would force myself to eat and count calories. Honestly, after a certain amount of time, I know a lot of people fantasize about eating as much as they can want or eating all the time, but honestly, like, sometimes you're just kind of sick of eating and you're just like, oh, you're hungry and you're just kind of like, oh man, it's work to eat, right? Especially if it's not good food.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I still don't like eating. I've never been a fan of really food. It's just,
really?
Yeah. It's
maybe it's not good food yet, bro.
It's more of a pain. So it's like, it's just, I don't know, something that,
I mean, like going out to like sushi or getting like a nice steak, would that appeal to you? Or is it just like, are you more like, I could take it or leave it?
Yeah, I just take it or leave it.
Oh, really?
Like,
you don't get excited about going out to a nice restaurant with your family or friends or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, if it's a decent environment and stuff, but I'm not excited about the food.
Oh, you're not excited about the food?
No.
I get really excited about food when people are like, oh, we're going to buffet or steak. I'm like, heck yeah, like.
Yeah, no, I could care less about that. I swear it's just, I don't know.
Were you always like that, or is it the bodybuilding that kind of did that to you?
No, I've always been like that, and then the bodybuilding really messed me up. And then it was, but no, I don't know. It's just never really appealed to me. I'd just rather not eat, know?
Interesting. So do you have like favorite food or not really? I mean,
there's foods that you like better than other foods, but it's just nothing's great.
It's kind of like a chore to eat all the time.
100%. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's you got to spend money on it, and then you got to cook it half the time, and it's like
right.
The whole process sucks.
Right.
I hate it.
Are your parents good
I feel so fortunate that I hate eating. There's a lot of people out there who just would love to have a meal, but it's
right.
I'm just not a fan. My parents are they're fantastic cooks.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they're super into it.
What ethnicity are they, or what ethnicity where you come from? Like,
I have no idea.
You no idea?
I don't know. Yeah.
Never asked, never questioned.
No, it's like there's nothing you can change about it, so it doesn't really. I don't know.
Never curious though, where your heritage came from. You're just like, whatever.
No, I don't. I get. Yeah, a lot of people ask that. I don't. Yeah, I guess I just sounds kind of bland. I just don't really care. There's a lot of other things to worry about. Than where you're from, because you're not
enough,
gonna.
I guess. Yeah.
If you can't change the situation, then it is what it is. And I don't know. I just kind of put it in the back of my mind.
I guess I asked that question because I'm curious what kind of food your parents, because my parents are Vietnamese and they make amazing Vietnamese food like you'll get at the restaurant, or my mom particularly. But I guess with your mom, like, do you guys like have what did you eat a lot growing up? Like, what did she make? What's your favorite meal that she made?
A lot of Italian food,
like spaghettis, pastas.
Yeah. And she hand makes all the noodles and the sauce.
Oh, she does.
Dang,
that's intense, dude. Okay.
Yeah, so she's got a whole garden and everything. Yeah, but I mean that
whole garden.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
And my dad's more the grill guy. But
okay. So they kind of balance each other. Yeah, like grill, put it on the noodles and stuff like that.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. And I've just, it's just never caught on. I hate it. It's like whatever is the fastest. Oh, no. I enjoy their food and stuff, but
you just hate the process of doing yourself.
For me cooking, if I'm just cooking for myself, it's like I'm getting the fastest and easiest thing possible.
Go to Target, grab a box of noodles, throw it in the boiling pot of water.
I've been on there's a PF Chang's pre-made meals, and you just like you throw them on a skillet for like 6 minutes and they're done, and you get nice fried rice, lo mein, just easy stuff like that. And it's that's more my style.
Cooking, I don't mind prepping necessarily. I just don't like how much, like, I would cook in college and just would take up so much time. That's the part that I don't like. You could go like 2-3 hours and your evening's gone and you made like one meal. That's the part where it's just like, And the dishes, dude. I hate doing the dishes afterwards. Yeah, pots and pans and, like little utensils here and there.
Yeah,
tongs and
certainly. Yeah. I'm more of the guy that just kind of try to use as little as possible, and then everything that goes in the dishwasher is what I use. So
Right.
yeah, if it doesn't go in the dishwasher, I'm not using it.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to avoid all that, right?
Yeah. It just whatever's easiest, That's the main thing. That goes with anything, It's just you try to do the easiest thing, and but make everything efficient, That's,
Right.
That's
Right.
what I like is efficient stuff.
Yeah. So wanted to ask about that. Like, I don't think my mom ever made like homemade Italian spaghetti from fresh veggies and made their own noodles. Do you see like a huge difference in taste and quality? Honestly, I mean, I hope your mom doesn't watch this, but or I mean, like if someone were to buy a box of noodles from Target, with the, I don't even know what the brand's called, but like it's the one with the B or something like that in front of it. Like box noodles versus homemade noodles. What's the difference? You know, it's huge difference or?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a big difference in taste, I think, too, and you can't really describe it. You just have to taste it. But the other thing is also just the ingredients are more natural. All the majority stuff that you buy in store is going to be bleached flours, and it's just a lot of stuff is hard on your gut. That in America, like it's tough to eat really good and all natural. Mm-hmm. And that's where it's just nice eating clean, healthy foods versus, garbage that's store bought. Not that you can't buy good noodles, but there's a lot more garbage noodles out there than.
Right. And kind of going off what you said too, I'm a big opponent of lunch meats. I know it's very convenient for most people. Like when we went on a ski trip, I was in charge of lunches and people are like, just go buy lunch meat and just throw it in a sandwich. I'm like, heck no, we're going to make fresh chicken, does some vegetables. And like, I cannot eat like those like boxed hams that you see at the store. It just tastes gross and it makes you feel like you just put junk in your body, right?
Well, yeah, there's a bunch of sodium in those, and it's super high on fat.
Yeah, there's like no protein, not many nutrients that you actually want in your body.
I mean,
right?
there's protein in there.
Like, it's very little compared to what you can get for the same amount of chicken.
Not necessarily, no. I wouldn't say that, but it's just a lot of them are soaked in a lot of salt and sodium and random chemicals to preserve them for longer. Those pre-sliced ones that you buy in the store. And so, there's actually a study out there that and all these studies are just figuratively, but they're saying that deli meats are one of the highest causes of cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know this stuff. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of deli meats. Rather just cut my own freshly sliced chicken or ground beef or something like that.
Yeah, certainly.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, that's pretty cool that you came from a good background of food and everything like that. So what do you do? I know a lot of real estate agents eat out a lot. I mean, I certainly eat out a lot as a loan officer. I'm always on the go, but I think, I'm trying to meal prep a little bit better and just get some like healthier foods. You save a lot of money doing that too. What's your diet of? Like, are you always on the go as a real estate agent or?
Yeah, I mean, in the morning, I always make eggs and toast, and that's just simple. And then, generally for lunch, Chipotle and.
Dude, I love Chipotle, bro. That's
a lot of times dinner Chipotle also.
I love Chipotle.
It's honestly, you do the math on it. It's
gold standard. I've always told my friends it's the gold standard for food. I mean, like $9-10, and you get if you get the right amount. I know there's videos of it going around. Like the portions kind of stink. Never get an online order.
Well, yeah, you can't do the online orders, and you got to know which locations are good or not. All the new ones seem to be kind of garbage, but if you go to the older locations, they load you up.
And especially if you don't got like a manager serving you the scoops, because they're the ones who are like watching the scales and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, and you can do like for your rice, if you want more rice, do like 50-50. You know, like brown and white, and then they give you more.
Same with the meat. I always do half and half with the meat because you get like 75% each if they do it right. Sometimes they're real stingy and they give you like 2 chickens and you're like, that's not half.
Or you kind of hit them with just drop me a little bit more.
Exactly. If don't charge you, you just make it a little friendly with them. As long as they're not the manager. If you got like the manager, they're gonna be like, oh, sorry, this is the policy. This is how much you get. And then maybe you hit them with a double protein if you're really desperate for the meat. Yeah, man. So you were mentioning earlier about like I don't know if you mentioned like introversion, extroversion. It's actually kind of curious. I would imagine that a lot of people are very extrovert. You kind of have to be a little bit extroverted in this industry, right? But where would you say your scale is? Like super extroverted here, always need to be around people, or hey man, leave me alone. I just want to be in my room, kind of doing my own thing all the time. Where would you kind of like align yourself in that scale of things from 1 to 10? Would you say?
I would be a 10 introverted, 100%.
10 introverted.
Yeah.
You want to be in your shell all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, you're calling. What do you mean? You're calling people. You're knocking on doors. That's not a very introverted person.
Yeah, but that's see the greatest part about being an introverted person is you can be efficient in conversations, and you can still talk to people, be introverted, but it's getting to the point and understanding how to move situations versus just talking about random crap,
Right.
Yeah, and it's more just being kind of more blank, but I don't know. Sometimes it works. And you just got to play with what you've got gifted,
I didn't peg you to be an introverted person. That's actually really surprising to me right now. I mean, I don't know if it's like I don't know, man. Like,
yeah,
you really?
No, yeah, it's like, yeah. At the end of the day, you just got to give what you're gifted with, and you just roll with it and make do with what you got, Like, but yeah, I mean, but for this, I would talk to like pretty much nobody all day. I'd just be working, doing lawn care,
mowing the lawns,
and just yeah. And so no, I mean it's a complete 180, but it's
wild.
It's a job I signed up for and decided to do, and it challenges you also to be more out there. And I think everybody, no matter how introverted or extroverted you are, I think it's always good to talk to people, and just get yourself out there. But yeah, you don't have to be out there nonstop, like when I get home and I'm done. I mean, you're never really done because you get random calls all the time.
Right.
But yeah, when I'm not working, it's like, I'm outside in the woods or just somewhere, quiet where, not out there. And yeah.
You're a big outdoors guy. I think I actually called you because I saw something that you were fishing. You seem very outdoorsy, and I'm also too. So, are you big in outdoors? I don't think we've ever talked about that, but that's what made me initially reach out to you over Facebook.
Yeah. Do a lot of fishing tournaments. Not this year as much, just because I've been so busy.
Right.
And then so a ton of fishing, and then also do a lot of waterfowl hunting and a little bit of deer hunting when I have the patience to. But
okay, waterfowl hunting. Was that a shotgun or what do you use for that?
Yeah.
I like that. That seems more appealing to me than sitting in a deer stand, right? I never really get appeal of, hey, let's just sit here.
It's nice just waking up and watching the woods wake up and stuff. That's what I like, and just seeing everything, and you don't understand how exhilarating it is when you see like a deer until you're deer hunting, and it's just a completely different feeling.
Like you're just like, finally it's here, or finally my opportunity's here.
It's just exciting, and especially when it's like a nice buck or something. It's just it's a completely different feeling that you can't explain until you're in that situation.
Okay, yeah, I would take you. I'm gonna have to try it sometime. I always want to be hunting, but I think the fowl hunting is more appealing because you're walking around the woods almost, and you're kind of like tracking it with your shotgun. Or is that different from pheasant hunting?
Yeah, pheasant hunting's upland.
Okay,
so waterfowl is ducks, geese, and so you're either in a boat or in a field, and you'll sit in layup lines or A-frames in the field, or you just have a boat, and then
are you more stationary with those?
Yeah. You're not moving. You have your decoys out, and
right,
and you're calling them, and they're coming to you, and that's where it all comes down to scouting and understanding where the birds are coming, how they're moving, their flight patterns, and trying to put all that together to have ultimately a good hunt.
Right. Okay, yeah. So did your dad get you into it, or who got you into hunting?
No, well, my dad was into it, but then he got out of it, and I don't even know, really. I think my brother got into it, and then I just started going along with him, and then I just haven't stopped. Okay,
yeah. I mean, that's how often do you do that stuff? You kind of do it often, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when the season is pretty short, it's from early goose starts end of September, and then beginning of September, and then that rolls to December, but most stuff locks up before then, and there's no water, and most of them migrate unless there's certain spots where they're still hunkering around, but I don't really hunt them too late in the season. But yeah, I mean, generally you're about early September to end of November.
Okay, so I didn't know it was that brief of a window. Is there any hunting in the summers that you usually do, or is it mostly like you wait to the beginning of the fall?
No, there's nothing, because you gotta wait. Well, they're birds in the summer, but when you're hunting them is mostly in the migration.
Okay.
And so when they're migrating down.
Okay,
but
I didn't know that.
There's
That's
no like you can't go hunting for them right now.
Okay. Is it because it's legal or?
Yeah, there's certain so early goose is beginning of September, and then duck season starts end of September. And so yeah, it's pretty short window. But,
okay. Yeah, but every day.
It's a blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, try to. I mean, whenever you have fields and good spots, and just things align, then try to get out all the time. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you mentioned fishing, man. I've been fishing a couple times when I was in Boy Scout camp, and catching the fish was cool. Honestly though, like sometimes I sit and wonder, I mean, people are just sitting there in the boats all day, with the lines, and I kind of wonder, is that a super exciting thing, or is it more mellow, or what you seem like you really enjoy fishing though. I mean, you're doing tournaments and things like that. What do you like about fishing? Obviously you like catching the fish, but like, what do you really enjoy about fishing in itself?
Well, I don't even know, honestly. I have no idea. I just always enjoyed it.
Like, you like being in the water, or just like kind of, because you're an introvert, right? Do you fish with people, or do you like fishing by yourself, or both? Or
yeah, both.
Okay.
I would say. Yeah. I grew up with my grandpa had a cabin up by Pekegama. And so yeah, I grew up always doing that. And then yeah, actually funny story. His barn burnt down. So he got a new boat, but then he had another boat. So he just gave that one to my family, and we just started going.
Oh, you have a boat?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. So he gave us a boat.
Was it like a pontoon or
it was,
rowboat?
It was like a 16-foot, I think, Starcraft with like a 20 horsepower Suzuki tiller on it. Okay. And it was, like the four, my whole family would just pile in that thing, and we just go fishing every night, and then it just really started then. And I was always into it, but we started really getting into it. And then my dad got really into it. Now he fishes almost every day. He's just always out there. And I absolutely love it. And the tournaments I'm always super competitive. So I love fishing tournaments, and
whoever catches the biggest fish wins, I'm assuming. I've never really heard of a fishing tournament.
There are big bass tournaments, but it's generally, it's big as 5. Mm-hmm. And so like I 99% always fish bass, so that's pretty much all I fish for, and so it's most of the series and stuff are all best 5
fishes.
Yep.
Okay. And they just judge by the weight and the size, or is there other criteria?
Yeah, it's just weight.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So I guess, is there like I bet it'd be very exciting, like when you have a thing on the line and you're I never had to do this. I just catch a couple of small fish when I was in Boy Scouts, like I said, and that was pretty cool too. I mean, you're like, oh, this is super cool. I mean, it's got fish from the water. But I mean, I'd imagine like if you have a big fish in your line, they're kind of like tugged back, right? And then you're trying to like reel them in, and it's like a big fight, or is it kind of like that, or how was it like catching a huge bass?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a crazy fight, Like I've been down to Florida, and we were like Goliath grouper fishing,
right?
And they were catching like giant, like 400-pound bull sharks.
Really?
And so that's wow. I mean, you're getting like yeah. So that's a whole different. It puts a whole different perspective, and really anything in the ocean is crazy how much it fights, because out in the ocean, they're fighting for their life once they get hooked, because there's everything just giant out there. Versus around here, there's not as much of a fight, but it's it's still rip and drag and stuff, but it's nothing crazy. You're not fighting them for an insane long time. Mm-hmm. But it's more just the technical aspect of it, trying to find certain spots, and it's I don't know, it's a really good time once you really get into it and make seeing minor tweaks and stuff, and and finding that difference. And it's just always something different, you know. Every time you get out on the water, it's a different pattern, different weather, different pressure, you know. It's just
You're all really knowledgeable on all that stuff. It helps you kind of know where to set up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, knowledge in anything is gonna help you most of the time. I would say,
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes being oblivious is good, but yeah,
Most of the time,
no,
probably not though.
Yeah. But no, it definitely helps to know where you're going. Yeah, but it's just it's just such a fun sport, and because everything changes, you know. It's when you're playing golf, you know, it's the same game, you know. You know you're gonna get the ball in the hole in 7 strokes or 3 strokes, whatever. But like, there's nothing that's crazy that's gonna happen, you know. And not that like, crazy stuff happens, but it's just there's more variables, I think, and you can never really. I mean, not that you can master most things, but it's just a really tough and humbling sport, I would say. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's a good time.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Do you ever, so this kind of popped in my head earlier, but like fishing for fish, fishing for people in real estate, is there any, is there any overlap between like what you see in like fishing and like fishing for clients, you know, per se, or fishing for business in the industry?
Any correlation?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is there any like, I guess the correlation was a bad word, but I just meant like, I mean, is there any like overlaps or anything you notice, like, oh, you know, that's something similar to what I'm doing here? Obviously, you know, it's completely different, but
yeah,
the principle or anything that kind of carries over.
Yeah, I think you can find correlations to almost anything with, you know, but it's, yeah, I mean, a tiny bit, you know, like just being patient and
patience,
understanding, you know, like fish are kind of like client, everybody's a little bit different, you know, every lake fish is a little bit different. Every day fish is a little bit different, you know, and yeah, I mean, there's always ways to correlate different phrases and make it fit. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all a numbers game in real estate.
So the same with fish, right? All of them kind of a numbers game, like how many lines you cast, or
kind of, yeah. It's a lot. I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. If you make more casts, you know, you're gonna have a better shot. But yeah, and then it's kind of understanding how to work a certain bait a little bit different. And I guess that's kind of similar to real estate, you know, understanding
how to reel in the client,
how to work the phones,
how to follow up with them, how to reel them in.
100%.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate your time, Dalton. It was great talking with you about, you know, fishing, your life, everything like that, food. Is there anything you kind of want to share with the audience, you know, as a real estate agent, 20 years old coming in? Any lasting remarks you want to make?
I don't think so. No, just kind of roll with it and take the punches that you're given and see what happens.
Awesome. Well, yeah, appreciate you coming on here. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome.